here we are for part 2 of the Swiss matches. Real quick, we'll take a look at the deck list that I have for Daria. The real surprises here are just the Angelic Barrage and the 2 Kaleidoscopes. Other than that, very standard list, no Angelic Snipes. And then Roach, I call it Roach Central, but it's a bit of a hybrid. In terms of it's a little bit anti-aggro and protection against the mirror match and aggro blood, while not sacrificing too much in terms of power for getting through control decks. 2 Tias, 2 Cynthias. If I were going to do this over again, I think I would drop a Cynthia for a Tia. Possibly even both Cynthias for like a Tia and a Selwyn's Command, but I'm not entirely sure. I like having big evolves, even in this type of deck, so that the Finas are great for real evolves. The Tias are great to use your fairies to get a free evolve that'll get you through wards. It's sort of like running additional Dance of Deaths that also give you board presence. So we're going to go over the last, I think it's the last 4 games. So it's, yeah, last 5 games. 2 games against Hadoken, 3 against Infeed. I'm not sure. I thought it might have been the last 4 games I didn't do, so we might have already done this one in part 1.
Time for me to prove myself.
Yeah, I want to say we already did this one in part 1. So we dump all of this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw this because I went on like turn 7. So we will. Yeah, we definitely saw that one. It was just the last 4 games that I didn't show. So this was the winner against Hadoken. I'm not sure if I was reading that right, but.
I guess you're looking for a fight.
My quarry won't escape that easy.
So I think he switched to Forest because Forest has, the aggro Forest has one of the better matchups against Daria Rune. Just because we have no wards, and so if we, even if we out-tempo you on board, if you get a good combo hand, we can't stop you. And since you have to keep constantly trading to prevent the damage on the board, you don't get a lot of damage in hand. That's right, he's running Liza's, which, you know, I love Liza. You know, I loved Liza when I was playing Tempo Forest, but it screws up your Roach. Like, it makes it so your Goblin Mages and your Finas don't pull Roaches, and I don't know, for me that's a no-no. I like knowing for 100% sure that I'm going to pull a Roach when I play a Goblin Mage. So here we don't bounce Eliza because that is one of the last things we want to bounce. Even though we're not D-shift, we still have a decent amount of damage from hand spells. So here we choose to double magic missile and evolve the Witchette on board, rather than say Levi evolve Crimson Sorcery. The reason is, well, I lose the Levi anyway,
Here goes.
and I get to cycle the magic missiles. I get to spell boost Daria. I even got to spell boost Ogler, which I drew. And I'm not really scared of his next turn evolve. Given that he's at 20 health, I want Levi's Crimson Sorcery to be used on a useful minion.
It's knowledge I seek.
So here we decide to Clark.
I'm just a mage who's as old as dirt.
And Levi. I'm not sure why I did that instead of Craiging Ogler, but I do need to use the evolve on Levi because I need that Crimson Sorcery.
The forest is crying for help.
The hunt has only begun.
Guide me, Elder Tree.
But this just sets me up perfectly.
How interesting.
I'm gonna rest for
Oh no, it's not here. I think it's like next turn. Or no, I think he dumps his hand full of fairies. Yeah. He dumps a handful of fairies, which just plays right into my Angelic Barrage. Which I'm so glad I've teched one of these in. Oh god, it stopped again. God damn it. God damn it. Sorry about that. I don't know why my tablet's having trouble recently, or if it's just the replays. I want to say it's recently. Something seems to be bogging it down. I'm not sure what it is. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to watch the beginning of this match again. Apologies for that. Sure, you can skip forward like a minute or so.
I guess you're looking for a fight.
My quarry won't escape that easy.
Like, with two spells that I'm gonna play, I certainly could have kept Fate's Hand, because it's gonna be 3 cost, which is fine to draw 2. But, one, I want Daria, and 2, I mean, there aren't that many spells, so I won't necessarily get it much lower than 3 very early. Because Craig and Clark don't buff your spells.
Here, everyone. Don't hurt me.
And
No.
for some reason, that's just an obvious misplay where he doesn't play the Water Fairy first. Although he has Ancient Elf in hand, I want to say. Now, he has Ancient Elf in hand, so
Sorry.
actually, I don't know why he did that. Like, obviously, I was going to trade. Yeah, very obviously I was going to trade, so I don't know why he did that. But, you know, whatever. Like I said, I choose the magic missile twice rather than use the Levi just to push for 2 damage. I have to use an evolve here anyway. I'm going to use an evolve on Levi. Like, the Levi turn is your swing turn, usually. So I, prefer to keep Levi for when I can get a solid swing turn, because Crimson Sorcery can be used on their face. So if I'm not going to use Crimson Sorcery on their face, then I really want to use it right away. However, here I go ahead and evolve the Levi, because, I could draw into another Levi. That was more of why I did it here, is that I could draw into another Levi, and Levi is your best evolve by far, so... Yeah. And now he plays 4 fairies, which sort of tells me he doesn't have the Roach combo. He has to play like tempo. Wait, why is it doing this? It's stopped in the same spot. Okay, well, Jesus Christ. Well, I end up winning that game. Apparently the replay is not working. That's really annoying that I did that twice and it kept fucking up. So anyway, I won that game. Now I lose this game against Haven and then win 2 against Forest, against Infeed. Infeed and I are running similar type aggro roach combo Forest, but mine is tempo hybrid, you could say, and where I think I have the advantage. His right here is a heal Haven, or heal Seraph. I don't think he's a Lana, but I might be wrong about that, I don't remember. Fairy Circle, no Ancient Elf. He doesn't have Sacred Plea. Lack in Scriptures, which is an interesting choice. And now I'm really upset about this one, where I go ahead and Ancient Elf. Because I know what he's gonna do, which is Cudgel. If I'd had another fairy there, I would have played the fairy first and gotten the Ancient Elf to a 5/6, which would have been the best case scenario. But I knew this was coming, and this, at least, he does get to banish the Ancient Elf, but the Cudgel goes down to 4 health, which lets me EPM over it. And again, drawing Rhinoceroches is the bane of this deck. because it means you drew a card that you were going to draw anyway. So it's basically a dead draw.
Hey, let's play. The real battle begins.
I draw Dance of Death, which is not great for me. I don't play a fairy. I don't think it really matters.
Let me ease your pain. The forest is crying for help. Hey, let's play. It won't be long now.
Now I have to EPM evolve, and it turns out I didn't know what his deck list was, but apparently it's like chock full of
Let's play.
wards. Like he runs multiple temple defenders, multiple snake priestesses, shit like that. And he has Themis here on 7. Which I'm pretty sure he just drew into, but you know, whatever.
The forest is crying for help. Ooh, sparkly stuff.
So we play our highest cost stuff first. Hold the fairies for the, you know, the 1-drop combos.
End now.
He has another cudgel. And then I'm pretty sure he has healing. And we don't have a nature's guidance. If we had a nature's guidance, I think we win here.
Magic. Let me ease your pain.
What in the...
Yeah, if we had had a nature's guidance, we won right there. But we didn't. And that basically spells our death, because he's just going to keep healing, and we have nothing to get on the board.
Serpent King.
I think we like top deck Dance of Death here, yep, which is like, well, we get rid of the ward, but we're still no closer to killing him without a bounce. Like, in some ways, I sort of see why people run Pixie Mischief, just to basically have a third Nature's Guidance that costs 2, with the bonus of it might bounce a ward in your best case.
Got enough for ya.
But considering you run 3 Ancient Elves and 3 Nature's Guidance, the 3 Roaches,
Sorrow.
and 6 cards that can pull Roach, I don't really subscribe to that idea. I mean, maybe, like, maybe dropping Cynthia for it, but, I mean, here I don't have any of those cards in my hand, so it's a moot point, really. And I basically just lose here. Wow, it fucked up again? Okay, this is getting on my fucking nerves. I can't, maybe this is when, because the guys were, like, Excelsior, Vindy, and I'm Deception, the guys who were casting the tournament, they would, you know, I watched some of their stream, and they came into my matches a few times. I want to say when they came into the matches, maybe that's when it fucked up, but it could just be my tablet. I'm not sure. So anyway, that was the loss against Haven. So then he was playing his Forest, which is like the all-in version of my deck, like I said before. And so we'll see the mirror match here. Because if the seeding is right, I think I actually play this guy first. Like in the first round of the top 16. So we keep the Sylvan Justice because it works against their 1-drops and etc. I think I make a mistake here on turn 2. I play the Goblin. He plays Water Fairy. I choose to trade instead of Sylvan Justice just because I think there are better targets for the Sylvan Justice at this point. And I don't have anything to play on 3 and 4. Although it looks kind of weird. He actually top decked that Elfchild May, so, you know, whatever. But here I have to Sylvan Justice and play the Fairy. And he Sylvan Justices and plays his Fairy. So I go ahead and throw out Yule because Yule's something that he should need to evolve into. And he gets really lucky here and has the Ancient Elf. And the Ancient Elf has enough health, attack to kill the Fina. But you see, if I didn't play the Yule, then I wouldn't be able to kill this Ancient Elf, and that would be death for me. So we go ahead and evolve the Fina, trade it into the Ancient Elf. We're not terribly unhappy here, because we have a Goblin Mage, we have a Nature's Guidance, we have Cynthia evolved for next turn. So we're not unhappy here. Because Fino was his turn 5. Like, that was his most likely turn 5. So we go ahead and Cynthia, and the Tia pickup is clutch. Like, it is literally exactly what I'm looking for, because it's recyclable wards. Now, I didn't at this time know what his deck list was, but I know the type of deck he's running, and just incredibly lucky to even have Will of the Forest at this point, and even 4 other cards in hand. So, you know, whatever, we're fine with that. So we go ahead and use the Goblin Mage, the Fairy Circle, and Tia, and bounce Tia. And because of the Fairy Circle, we're guaranteed to have 2 fairies to play Tia the next turn. And then we draw into another Nature's Guidance. And from there, we're looking pretty good in terms of just being able to throw more wards at him than he can handle. So we trade off so that we can play 2 fairies and the Tia. We could have Sylvan... I don't think I saw this at the time. Could have Sylvan Justiced and played a fairy and played Tia and got 2 more damage in. Oh, no. I needed that 1 extra mana to play Nature's Guidance. That's right. I did think of that at the time. And this is where Selwyn's command actually sort of comes in useful. He's very lucky that he's going second here and he has another evolve.
It's hunting
Um,
time.
but it's fine because we have a Sylvan Justice. And we can trade into the 2-1.
Same you've got.
And Fairy Circle. Well, Fairy Tia. Didn't need the Fairy Circle. I'm not entirely sure I would have bounced there if I had a Nature's Guidance. Just because I have so much damage on board. Basically, I'm forcing him to use 2 roaches here to kill these Tias. Well, the Eves.
I'm sorry, Tia.
Yeah, so there's the first roach. He has to use a Nature's Guidance. I saw his hand. He didn't have another 1-cost minion in hand.
I'm sorry.
So, and then he top decked the Elf Child May off the Nature's Guidance. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? What is wrong with this thing? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I can't even watch a whole game without you fucking up. I don't know. I want to say the rest of it is on here.
Brackets and with FLCL.
Yeah, this is the third match.
Good 4-drop, and I like the card a lot.
You can see it from his perspective here.
That when it evolves, deals 2 damage to a random enemy follower. Well, once
So this is
you
just a...
follower 2 times,
I'm just looking at what came off of
value.
the stream.
Doesn't see very much play, and then we know he is running also Craft, which is Daria, with a Tekken Angelic Barrage. I'll blow you away. This is a pretty good start here for Infeed. He's already got that rule of force to clear. He's already got a Nature's Guidance, a 0.
Yeah, he's got the names switched up. I'm at the top, and this guy is at the... My opponent's at the bottom.
Roll the forest here, full clear. Hey! Their face.
I was very lucky to have that with enough cards in
You
hand.
can also, with all these goblins, you can just maybe push in some damage, and then next turn on turn 8 he can win. Yeah, I mean 2 Nature's Guidance. We'll have the roaches with the goblin mages, and it has summons. Unfortunately, that's not gonna happen because Ward is cheap. Ward is so much cheap.
Ward is cheating, yes.
No, that's not. He'll have 3 roaches, he has a 0 cost and 2 Nature's Guidance. But the problem is, what do you do with all these wards? And another Nature Guidance at hand. She's gonna end up using again on the Tia.
Yeah, so I think we were about here. I bounced the Tia again.
This is where Tia becomes a nuisance.
And then he's very lucky to have Selwyn's command, because otherwise he doesn't have any Evos that can kill
Still got the 0 cost Goblin Mage.
the Ward.
2 Nature's Guidance. Yes.
And so we just saw this. Selwyn's Justice.
He's still able to use
Trade.
Stalia Tia.
Fairy Tia. And go face.
It's pretty annoying. Yes. It's tempo forced. So it's... Even running the Yule the Ancient, very different. You don't really see that at all. No. It's gonna have to use one of the Roach Bastion that 6-4.
Yeah, he actually has to use 2 roaches and a nature's guidance. Like I said there, he didn't have another 1 cost minion or 2 cost minion, so he had to burn the nature's guidance, top decks the elf child May, and hits the Tia. But then I top deck an ancient elf,
Into a roach.
and then I definitely clicked.
Missing 1 damage.
I definitely swung that face. I don't play on my computer very often, so I must have just missed that 1 damage. You know, not much you can do about that. And now he has to burn his last.
Which means it's a rush too.
Yeah, and that's his 3rd roach that's dying there. And so that's game.
Trade.
It's basically game, because. And then I top deck another ancient elf.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything. He can just run out roach, and he just picked up a
But actually, since I top deck the ancient elf, I just win. Because that's all I was looking for to win was a bounce.
But it could be
Um,
2-1, 2.
That's all I was looking for was a bounce. And then he was out of roaches. So even if I'd had to just dump my hand onto the board, you know, I would have been fine, most likely. So that's the end of the Swiss matches and playing top 16 tomorrow. I'm sure they'll be streaming some of those. I will probably do the replays tomorrow. Thanks for watching.